So the FX3 finally got the update that it deserved. To be honest, it's probably actually now the camera that it should have been when it came out. Let's talk about the new features and why I'm finally excited to use this camera. Okay, the number one thing, and the reason why I said this update is how the camera should have came out, is DCI 4K with true 24p recording. So the sensor is based off a photo, size sensor, the normal one that they use in the A7S III. So it's, I think, a 3x2 sensor, whereas video is shot in 16:9. So 4K is a little over 8 megapixels, and DCI 4K is 8.8, almost 9 megapixels. The sensor is 12, so theoretically, we knew this should have been able to do DCI 4K from the get-go. And then true 24p only works if you're in all I or all intra, so the highest bit rate, so you're gonna have bigger files. Also, it restarts if you switch this mode, but that's been a thing with other camera manufacturers, so it must be some sort of like a process that it has to do in order for this, so I don't really blame it. And because it is in that all intra, you only get up to 4K 60. Another thing that's added is the D-squeeze for anamorphic lenses. I don't have any anamorphic lenses. I've never shot an anamorphic lens, but if I did, I know that a lot of monitors, like my Atomos monitor, you can de-squeeze right on the monitor, and then you don't get limited by the limitations that this has currently from de-squeezing. So I'd probably rather do that, but if you're in a pinch and can only use the screen, it's there. And the second most important change they made was finally adding focus breathing to this camera. Cameras have come out since this that are cheaper, like my A7 IV, that have focus breathing. Again, this is definitely something they could have done a lot earlier, and they still haven't done for cameras like the A7S III or the A1. This is just about the update and this camera, so we're not gonna rant too much about Sony. The Royal We. But that's gonna be huge because my favorite lens that I own is the Sony 35mm G Master lens. G Master. That lens is so crisp, but it does suffer from focus breathing. And the other little things are just little quality of life improvements that they've made for this camera. They've improved the stability of the camera. They've added the S&Q mode to be able to put to a button. So if you just use one of your customizable buttons, you can just hit that and it'll move to S&Q mode since we don't have any dials on top. The other thing that's probably good for people that are doing films or using multiple cameras is that you can change the name of your camera to be, your B cam, your C cam, and it's also position. So if it's, front, side, whatever, you can put that all in the name. I looked at it and it made the name really long, and I just make my name FX3 and then some numbers, and I think for YouTube, that's all we really need. And lastly, they added the support for the Creators app. I haven't used it yet. The old Sony app was trash. Trash! So I pretty much tried not to use them when I didn't have to. But I might dive into this one, see how it goes, and if I need to, I'll make a video. Last thing I want to note is if you have an older operating system, I think I just had 2.0, you'll have to download another file before you can download the 3.0. So you kind of have to update your phone.
What?
So you kind of have to update your camera twice.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, I'm pretty excited to use this camera more, so I'll see you guys later.